These ritual workings coincide with the procedures necessary for the accomplishment of the crowning objective of the Masonic script, the rebuilding of the Temple of Herod, where now stands one of Islam's most revered shrines, the Dome of the Rock. The Freemasons feature reverent depictions of the temple in their most sacred iconography. In 1988, fundamentalist Judeo-Christians joined with Kabbalistic rabbis in the search for the remains of a magical cow, the so-called ashes of the red heifer, supposedly necessary to the reconstruction of the Third Temple. That's from Michael A. Hoffman's Tour de Force, Secret Societies and Psychological Warfare. That's an independent history and research book. Excellent book, highly recommended. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. Well, I'm sure there are many who have a positive outlook on the elections, the primaries that we did have. I'm very pleased that Specter lost in Pennsylvania. And of course, there's been a lot of hoo-ha going on about Rand Paul. I'll only say this about Rand Paul. I don't know particularly what his specific policies are regarding things, but based on what he said and his general libertarian philosophy, I have to say it's pretty much bunk, really. A libertarian philosophy when it comes to economics is a big fat loser, because all that is laissez-faire capitalism. Laissez-faire capitalism is the idea that free markets, totally free markets, are the major impetus, growth factor, and the most healthy form of economy. And it's just flatly false. Wherever we've had quote-unquote free markets in this country's history, we have seen the rise of dominant, monopolistic, profit-greedy corporations and individuals who do their best to crush and destroy the workers that work for them in the pursuit of more fucking profit. It's a simple historical fucking fact. Laissez-faire capitalism is fucking bullshit. Now, some people have called me a Marxist. Well, at least one commenter, and perhaps others have thought that. I'm not a Marxist. My views only appear to be so far to the left because what we're faced with is a fascist right-wing nightmare in this fucking country. I'm not for Marxism. I'm not for full-blown socialism either. I'm for having a growth situation in this country, an economic situation in this country, which rewards people for hard work, rewards people for production. We need to move away from an economy that's based on fucking paper and useless garbage, because that's the bulk of our economy right now. We produce next to nothing in this country. I want us to get back on a production economy. And that's not to be centralized. But it needs to be funded. And if the federal government has to force the Federal Reserve to fund production in this country and force banks to give money to people who want to start productive businesses, then I'm all for that. And if you have businesses like BP who routinely ignore safety concerns and have a cozy relationship with the oversight authorities that allow them to get away with flooding the entire fucking Gulf of Mexico with oil, then I'm for fucking heavy regulations, fines, fucking civil and criminal penalties. This is what a government is for. It is there to step in between the powerless and the powerful. So I don't want anybody to even suggest to me the idea of a free market system. It can't work. It won't work. The only thing it guarantees is those that have the most resources are going to continue to have the most resources while they cut out, crush, and fucking burn their competition and put the fucking workers in the poorhouse. And this entire free market system, this laissez-faire capitalist system that some people seem to espouse, is a perfect tool to force everybody into the new feudalism. Now, why don't we take a look at another issue? How about that financial reform bill? Huh? I'll bet you feel a lot better now knowing that they passed this overhaul, which does absolutely fucking nothing. It's not going to prevent any more crises, and it's not going to resolve any of the underlying problems in our economy, like CDOs and credit default swaps and other forms of derivatives, which are parasitic leeches. Do you hear one single iota of a mention by anybody in Congress saying that, hey, maybe that fucking Germany has got some fucking smarts over there. Maybe we need to do something like that to put the brakes on the finance system in this fucking country. This is what the government is for. It is for stepping between the powerful and the powerless. Who runs this fucking country? Wall Street. Big business and big fucking money. That's why your financial overhaul bill is a big piece of shit. Because they don't want you to have a finance overhaul bill, because they want to continue to rape and fucking pillage you. And that is what you get when you take away regulation, when the government steps out of the picture. This is what you are ending up with. Catch a clue, look at history, and see it. It's right there in front of your face. The American system has worked before. Our economy has been strong. It has given a leg up to people who want to succeed. It has produced some of the most amazing productive capacity the world has ever seen. And I'd like to see us go back to that. And it can be done. But it can't be done with any of the bullshit that's trying to be shoved down everybody's throat. That's why you have nothing here. And that's why you can't sit back and say, well, we got some good results in the primaries, the ones that have been had so far. Because nothing is resolved. And these people are going to continue to be in office until the general election. And I guarantee you, all of those things that they're still waiting to jam down our throats, they're going to try their damnedest to pass. And immigration reform, that will be in there. My bottom line on immigration reform, I don't think we need to reform immigration. But if someone's going to talk about immigration reform, the first thing out of their motherfucking mouth better be secure the fucking border. And then you have President Calderon of Mexico coming here and telling us, basically slapping us on the hand and telling us we're naughty people because we have this law in Arizona which is, impinging on the rights of Hispanics. Well, I have this to say to President Calderon and to all of the others in Mexico who feel that way when they have one of the most repressive immigration systems around. Here's what I have to say to you. Listen up, President Calderon. Go fuck yourself and stay in Mexico because we don't want you in this fucking country. And keep in mind Cap and trade still on the table. A lot of these things which are evil, insidious, and have to be stopped, there's going to be a major push to pass them while they still have their people in there. That's not to say that the new ones coming in can't be bought off, but it's going to take time for that changeover of power, you understand. So the timetable has even been crushed further down. So just do not sit back on your laurels even for a minute. And don't buy into the bullshit that people try to sell you. Don't even buy into mine, for Christ's sake. Look it up for yourself. Find out what it's really about. Make your own fucking decision. Don't listen to anybody else tell you what you should or shouldn't do. Thank you.